News.
That breaking news out of Southern California. New evacuation orders underway as crews continue battling deadly and destructive wildfires. This is a look at the Palisades fire. It's the largest of the fires in Los Angeles County right now. It's grown to more than 23,000 acres and threatening more communities tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Cecil Hannibal. We're getting some updated numbers on these fires. The death toll now rising to at least 16. More than 12,000 structures have been destroyed and tens of thousands remain under evacuation orders tonight. Here's a look at the evacuation map right now. The red area shows mandatory evacuations and the yellow is evacuation warnings. Those have been expanded as the Palisades fire grows further east. The crews are also working to contain several other fires. The Eaton fire is over 14,000 acres and is 15% contained. Crews have made some progress on two smaller fires. The Kenneth fire is just over 1,000 acres and 90% contained, and the Hearst fire is just under 800 acres and 76% contained. Today, fire officials hosted a community meeting to give updates on the fire, answer questions, and discuss recovery.
We always look, how do we get you back as soon as possible? But to be able to do that, to repopulate your house, we need to make the area safe again for you. We have to build that infrastructure so that you're safe, so that you're ready and you have all the needs that you can do to thrive in your own home.
Lee Waldman is in the Pacific Palisades tonight with a look at the mass devastation left behind and the risks residents face as wind speeds are expected to pick back up.
We're already starting to feel some of the wind gusts coming back here in Pacific Palisades. It's a race against the clock for so many firefighters who are working on growing the containment numbers for the Palisade fire and the other fires burning right now in LA County. But there's significant concern that with the return of these strong winds, that these wildfires will grow.
The firestorm in Southern California stretching east Saturday, and now new concern over the wind speeds increasing, posing a further threat. The multiple blazes combined singeing nearly 40,000 acres in Southern California, decimating communities.
It's okay, Alyssa.
It's like your heart's been ripped out.
We have everything. We have our lives.
And stomped on and thrown away. And you're just trying to find a piece to put it back together.
The Pellegrini family lost a restaurant of 40 years. Like so many others, they've lost so much.
2 doors down, the house is gone. 1 door up, the house is gone. The house above me is gone. The houses across the street were burning all day.
Dan O'Connor is one of the few residents whose home is still standing in Malibu, but around him is nothing but mangled metal and charred debris. This home, only the staircase is left standing. The largest of the wildfires, the Palisades fire, devouring the Malibu area.
It's devastating, heartbreaking for us all, but it's great to see the community come together.
The winds calming down Saturday morning, allowing crews to make progress, fighting the flames by air and reducing the risk for firefighters.
You're not having those, strong winds that are providing ember casting and starting spot fires in front of the head of fires.
But the dry conditions still leaving much of Southern California under a critical level for fire danger. The Santa Ana winds are expected to pick up Sunday, which could worsen fire risk.
Today we heard from Governor Gavin Newsom, who is doubling the amount of National Guardsmen who are here helping to fight these fires. Firefighters from Mexico are also here in Los Angeles, and fire crews from Texas arrived today as well, all hoping to accomplish the same goal: protect the communities and the people who live here. In Pacific Palisades, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
We're now learning federal agents are leading the investigation into at least one of the Los Angeles County wildfires. Authorities announcing today ATF will lead an investigational task force to find out how the Pacific Palisades fire started earlier this week. There's indication the fire started accidentally since there was no reported lightning that day nor any transformer lines impaired. But arson is also being looked into as well. The task force is made up of local, state, and federal partners. California is getting more help to fight these fires. This afternoon, firefighters from Mexico landed at the Los Angeles International Airport. They'll join the 14,000 other firefighters battling these flames. Governor Newsom welcomed the crews when they landed. Tomorrow, 4 Sassoon City firefighters will head down to Southern California to help fight the Palisades fire. They'll assemble as a strike team along with other regional agencies. We have a new video tonight of crews from Sac Metro Fire helping with efforts on the Palisades fire. Metro Fire currently has crews on both the Palisades and Eaton fires. Los Angeles County has declared a public health emergency because of the smoke. They warn it could pose immediate and long-term health threats and are advising people to keep windows closed if you see or smell smoke and wear a mask when outdoors. We want to check now with our meteorologist, Dirk Verdoorn. Dirk, how are the winds looking as firefighters work to battle these flames?
Yeah, well, the winds are going to pick up a little bit tonight, and we're going to see that again pick up again Sunday afternoon and into the evening. But right now, let's go ahead and start with what you were talking about with air quality. We do have levels that are in the moderate category for much of the Los Angeles, LA Basin area. You can see from Inglewood to Los Alamitos and on into El Monte, Arcadia, Covina, kind of in that range of moderate levels of smoke. And the big reason why is most of the smoke that's being produced, especially by the Palisades fire, which is the fire that's still the most active, is being pushed right out into the ocean. So we're seeing that north wind kind of pushing that smoke south out to sea. So air quality not too bad right now, but we are going to see a possible shift in the winds. Right now, we have some of the winds anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts in Orange County up over 20 to 25 miles per hour. This is a look at some of the maximum wind gusts that I was able to find in the surrounding mountains for today. So since midnight to now, these are some of the numbers that we've seen. So in the Santa Monica Mountains, there was a wind gust earlier today, about 57 miles per hour. Again, that's the strongest wind gust that I found in those mountains. I also saw a wind gust at the San Gabriel Mountains. This is over 5,000 feet. So this is in the upper elevations. This is where we're seeing, again, peak wind gust of 69 miles per hour. San Bernardino Mountains had a 52 mile an hour wind gust, and the Santa Ana Mountains had a 61 mile an hour wind gust. So again, that's what's going on with the winds in the upper elevations. Again, those are the maximum winds that we saw today, and we could even see stronger winds as we head into the coming week. Back over to you.
Dirk, thank you. While the fires rage on, some residents are getting their first look at the destruction left behind. This is a line of cars waiting to get a look at what's left of their homes in the Pacific Palisades, some waiting for hours. The Pacific Palisades fire destroying countless homes, but also schools and churches. I want to show you this video. You're looking at the remains of the Community United Methodist Church in Pacific Palisades. The building reduced to rubble. The pastor says they will work to rebuild.
This is awful and horrific, and I'm not sugarcoating anything, but I know the power of the Methodists. I know the power, though, of everybody in this community, all the faith. We're all saying we're going to work together and rebuild.
Attorney General Rob Bonta is offering tips for Californians to protect themselves after concerns of fraud and price gouging, and reminding people that price gouging during a state of emergency is illegal.
We've seen businesses and landlords that use increased demand during emergencies to jack up the price of essential supplies and services, of gas and water, batteries, first aid supplies, construction materials, and housing, including hotels and including short-term rentals. It's called price gouging, and during a state of emergency like there is currently in effect in Ventura County and Los Angeles County, it is illegal. You cannot do it. It's unlawful. It is a crime, punishable by up to a year in jail and $10,000 fines.
Bonta says in order to protect yourself from scams, you should verify their credentials by checking licenses, certifications, and reviews. Be skeptical of upfront payments and avoid paying large sums of money upfront. Use officials' channels to verify government representatives and monitor your accounts for any suspicious activity. Also report any suspected scams to local law enforcement. Nightly curfew orders will continue in the evacuation areas of both the Palisades and Eaton fires. Anyone who is not emergency personnel are not allowed in the area between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. nightly. Officials today emphasizing the curfew is designed to limit looting.
In total, we have made 22 arrests between the Eaton Palisades fire, 19 arrests in the Eaton area, and 3 in the Palisades area. All these individuals were in areas they were not supposed to be there, meaning they had no business being there. Of the 4 arrested last night, 2 were arrested for unauthorized entry of emergency areas. Basically, we had 2 arrests for curfew violations.
The curfew also keeps people out of hazardous areas. Officials say anyone found in violation of the curfew, even if they own property in the area, will be subject to arrest or misdemeanor citation. We'll continue to follow the developing news out of Southern California with these wildfires, both on air and on our KCRA 3 News app. Make sure you turn on those push alerts to get the latest updates. Many people have been asking, how can they help these victims of the Southern Californian fires? You can download you can actually scan the QR code right there, the KCRA code on your screen, to donate right now. KCRA 3 is teaming up with the American Red Cross to help people impacted by the devastating wildfires burning across Los Angeles County. Your donation will support the victims with disaster relief and other humanitarian efforts.